Hey guys, Bradley Benner with Semantic Mastery Hump Day Hangouts on February 4th, 2015. And we're actually doing the Hangouts today for the first time through the actual page, through Semantic Mastery page instead of through my personal profile. So there's a little bit of so it's acting kind of weird. I don't generally do it through a page. So if you guys didn't get the invitation for whatever reason, I apologize for that. But we've got some questions already to answer on the event page. Also got Adam and Marco and Hernan, three of my partners with me today, which is cool. Hey guys, say what's up.
Hey everybody.
Hey guys.
Hello everyone.
So it's rare that I get this many of my team on with me in one sitting. So anyways, I just posted the link to get into this Hangout if you want to participate, which you're more than welcome to if there's spaces available. I posted that right on the event page. It looks like it is posted just below the video right now. And I've got a couple questions that I'm going to get started on answering, and then I'm going to tease something for tomorrow, because tomorrow is our IFTTT members Advanced Strategy Webinar number 2, and I kind of want to tease something that we got a special guest coming on tomorrow, and it's something that's kind of ninja that I want to share with you guys. Really to tease you. I'm just going to be real honest about it. Try to encourage everybody to be there tomorrow if they can, and if not, there will be a replay, and I'll probably end up sending it out, at least a clip from the webinar tomorrow to everybody on the list so that you guys will at least get to see it, but it'll be reserved for attendees at least up front tomorrow. So with that said, guys, I'm going to go ahead and take the screen and start answering some of these questions. Let me make sure. Also, I do want to make an announcement right now because next week, let's see if it's coming up. Looks like my question and answer box isn't working. So Adam, you're going to be monitoring everything and interrupting me, right? Adam? I guess.
Or I can do it. I'm still here.
Somebody. Okay. All right. Well, next week we're going to be doing kind of setting this up a little bit differently as well. The event is going to be through YouTube live events as opposed to Google Hangouts. I don't think it's going to make much of a difference to you guys on the other end, except that question and answer box, that little blue button that's on the event page is not going to be there anymore for the Q&A. It's going to force everybody to ask questions directly on the event page. And that way it's going to, kind of make it easier for us to manage the questions instead of having to look in like 3 different places. So I don't know if you guys will see much of a difference, but that's what we're going to do for next week. So let's see. See, I'm getting chirped already. Let's see.
Yeah, and I'm not getting any questions coming through. So.
Okay. Yeah, it says to me it says it's having trouble contacting the server, but that's okay. I'm going to keep rolling.
Right, yeah, so I think Google is having some issues with Hangouts right now. I don't know why, but it seems that's acting funky on my end too.
Okay, cool. All right, well, no worries. We'll just have to, work around it. Not a big deal. That's an awful screenshot of me. All right, so let me scroll down to the bottom and I'll start. There's just a couple questions. Let's see. This is a question from Carl, which I actually got to meet Carl. I had lunch with him a few weeks ago. And this is a question that gets asked kind of often, so I'm going to walk through this and give an example and show how to do this. So the question is, I'm confused about setting up the money channel and or money site. At present, I have a YouTube account called, and he puts his account name, which is associated with my business Gmail account. I have Erwin, which is the outsourcer that I recommended to you guys that's available for building the networks. So he says, I have Erwin working on creating the T1 money channel, the Tier 1 money channel, themed for the pet industry. Erwin is asking me for the YouTube channel to connect the properties that he created, i.e. Blogger, Twitter, and WordPress, on the Tier 1 pet channel. I would also like to create theme channels for the medical industry, legal industry, and home improvement industry. Are each of these Tier 1 theme channels supposed to be part of my YouTube account? Does a video that you put in the update section of the IFTTT Academy have any bearing on this? Sorry, but I'm confused. All right. So good question. There's a couple ways that you can do this, and I'm going to give you the recommended way. All right. The recommended way, if you've already got one channel that you have that you want to use to syndicate content from to your networks, and it's already hosted underneath your own main Google account, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, but first of all, you need to create a page login so that you can log into that channel and that Google Plus page, because a channel and a page are one and the same, right? Especially if you create the YouTube channel first, then it will automatically create a Google Plus page at the same time. And there's no way around that. It does it automatically. So they're one and the same, okay? So what you need to do is create a page login only so that you can connect that page to the network to begin with, because otherwise it's going to want to connect to your main profile channel, which would be your personal channel, right? And so that is covered in the training on how to create a page login. But I will walk through it again for you guys today. And then once I walk through that in just a moment, I will talk about creating additional channels as well, okay? So let me jump in here. This is the same profile that I used in the training, Robert Mills, okay? So what you want to do is, I'm sorry, did somebody jump in?
Oh, yeah, hey, I just jumped in.
Okay, well, no, I mean, is there a question? No, oh, okay. All right. No worries,
keep rolling, keep rolling.
That's cool. All right, so jump into YouTube channel. And actually, you really want to go in through your page anyways, so let me go back up for a minute. Click on the page. Okay, so go to Google+. On the drop-down, you're going to go to Pages. Okay, so remember, your page is going to be created when you create your channel. All right, so you're already going to have a page in your drop-down menu. All right, so this is it right here. I named the page after the persona. Okay, so then what you want to do is go to Manage this page. Once you're on this screen, you'll see that changed to now says My Business. You're going to want to scroll down to where it says Settings. Click on Settings. And then you're going to scroll down and you're going to see where it says Third-Party Tools. Right there is where you set up a password, and you can see that this is the password username, or the channel username. So what you do is you copy this, and this will be your login username, and then you set up a password. And the way to set up a password is you log back in with using the same account details, and then once you log in, it'll give you the opportunity to set a new password and then confirm the password and hit Create. And at that time, and it has to be a different password than what you used to log in with the account. So just make it a unique password. All right, and so in that case, let me open up a notepad and back this up. This is going, and again, this is in the training, all right, but I just want to make this clear because I do get asked this consistently over and over again, so I'm going to do it again here, and I'll probably just make a clip out of this and put this in the, the Facebook group and stuff like that, so you guys have it there as well. All right, so this in this case is going to be the login username for that page. Now, what this will allow you to do, now again, the password, I'm not going to create one and then post it here for you guys to all see. But if I had created a new password, I would put it down there. Then what you can do is you can log out of everything, clear your cache and your cookies, and then you can log back in as just the page at that point. You're not logged into your main Google account. So if you already have YouTube channels underneath your main account, this is how you do it. You're going to need to do this anyways, but this is how you do it. So now you can connect any one of your channels to your IFTTT networks by using the page login. All right. Now, the next part of that question. Let me get back to the page. Okay. I would like to create theme channels for the medical industry, legal industry, and home improvement industry. Are these theme channels supposed to be part of my main YouTube account? Well, they can be, but I don't suggest that, because what I recommend you do is that you keep all of the accounts underneath your main profile themed around one particular industry, okay? Because that's going to build authority for your profile, for your main profile, your personal profile, right? So whatever you're the authority in real life, not persona life, but in real life, that's what I would suggest you house all of your YouTube channels that are centered around that niche underneath your main account. Then if you want to create other type of niches or other industry, other themed accounts, it's fine to do that. But what you want to do is create the channel underneath the persona account, okay? And then you can make yourself the manager of that page so that you can log into that account through your main profile. So I know that might have sounded confusing, but let me show you how to do that. Okay, here we are on the settings of this page. Let's just say that this is a new persona that I set up, Robert Mills, right? For in your case, Carl, you're talking about wanting to do one for, let's see, the legal industry. Let's just say that this was for the legal industry, okay? So I set up this persona, Robert Mills, for the legal industry. I created a YouTube channel under his persona account that's going to be themed for the legal industry. Then what I do is I come back over to settings once I'm logged in the page, which I just was. Go to settings, which we're there now, and then go to managers. And under managers here, you click add managers and you type your own personal Gmail address in and click invite. Then you go back to in another browser window, back in Chrome, because remember, we do all this stuff in Firefox, right? But then you go back and log into Chrome or whatever your native browser is. I recommend Chrome. And check your Google Plus notifications or check your Gmail under the social tab. Then you'll have an email saying that you have been invited to become the manager of the page that you just created. So you clicked in accept to become manager, and then you'll be able to access that page by going to see my photo up here in the top. So this is my main account, Bradley Benner. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to go to pages. And right here, that page will be in this menu. Okay? So all the pages that you can manage. So my point is that you want the personas to be the owners of the other pages. Okay, but you can be the manager. Your own personal profile can be the manager of those pages, which will make it easier to work on. Okay, but you definitely want to. I would suggest that you keep the owner of the pages themed tightly, so that their persona is based on a particular theme, and that your main account is only built around all the stuff that you own in your main account, not manage but own, is based around your particular expertise. All right, that's how you build authority for your profile. All right, I hope that answered that question. And again, we'll cut this out, and we'll put timestamps on these videos as we are going to be doing from now on. So you'll be able to find this and watch this again after the event. Okay. All right. So the next question is Brian says, "Where's a good place to purchase PBNs and have them hosted at a very affordable price?" Well, it's a good question. I've never really purchased a PBN. I always just buy the domains and then build them out. Well, my team builds them for me now, but there's plenty of places to do that. I mean, there's pr0sites.com. Let's go here. I'll show the link, and I'll put this in the on the event page so you guys can see it. pr0sites.com. Oops, I spelled that wrong. I just do it again. There we go. pr0sites.com. I'll post this on the event page. Okay. So here you can sign up and get a free list where they'll send you TrustFlow, Domain Authority domains. They'll send you a list, an Excel spreadsheet. You can get a free list, but I can tell you right now that the free list is, you've got a million freebie seekers scouring that list every time it's mailed out. So you've got to be really quick when they email it to you and run through them very, very quickly to find decent domains. They also have a couple paid services. They have the Platinum membership, which is $97 a month, which, that you'll get a much better list that's not picked through near as much. They have a Gold membership, which is like the step down for $47 a month. You guys can see. I'm not going to explain all these things because I don't work for these people anyways. All I know is that I've used this service as a Platinum membership to purchase the last network that I built, which was 150 sites. I used this mainly to purchase, well, most of them, at least. I don't know. Hernan helped me with that one. So Hernan, about how many did we buy from this list? Probably at least 60% of them, right?
Yeah. You need to do your due diligence,
right.
because they'll send you the list, but then you need to know what's going on with each domain. So yeah, I think we made 2 networks. So yeah, ranging 150, and they were mostly from those lists. So yeah, we mixed others. Other sources, but yeah, there were mostly.
I'd say probably about 60% of the 150 that we built were from here. So probably about 80 or 90 of them, about 90 of them probably. But but again, I would recommend that even if look, it depends on how big of a network you're going to build. If you're just building a small network, then get the Platinum membership, download the first list, and then get off the trial, or pay them $97 for 1 month, and I think they mail the list out every 3 days or something. It's like every 3 days or 4 days you get another list. And I would suggest doing that, spending the $97 for 1 month and getting them that way, because you'll get a much better list that's not picked through as much if you go with some of the cheaper plans. But, that's up to you. There is another, let's see, let me do one more real quick. Let me log into Yahoo, because I had a Yahoo mail earlier, just like a few minutes ago. Just a minute. And I'll share this with you guys too. Where am I in there? There I am. Steve at Pure Quality Domains. That's it right there. Pure Quality Domains. I'm trying to see. I can't believe he doesn't have a link to his site in this email. That's insane. All right, let's see. Pure Quality. That's crazy. Well, just do a Google search on Pure Quality Domains. It might be purequalitydomains.com. I don't know. I can't believe there's not a link in the email. But that's another group there or another guy that does pretty good at selecting out some good trust flow. Remember, that's what you're looking for. You're looking for trust flow more than anything is the most important metric when it comes to buying expired domains. And check the backlink profile. And I know, Brian, you were asking about backlink analysis software or applications. In the Facebook group, when we talked about Majestic and Ahrefs and things like that, if you're going to be buying expired domains, man, you're going to need a premium account at one of those, because you're going to have to analyze the backlinks of expired domains. Okay, and the free accounts are not going to give you the enough data for you to be able to determine if it's a decent domain or not. All right, so just keep that in mind. If you're going to be building a PBN, man, you're going to need to spend a little bit of money on tools to do it properly. There is one other place. I have not tested them, but I do know of them. Let me check real quick. There's a...
Sorry, Bradley, just as a side note, I've been finding good domains, with good metrics, but since the latest, updates on PBNs, you need to make sure that they are indexed, because if not, you'll get a lot of good metrics. The index domains that were former PBNs, so I'm also checking trust flow and indexation, which has become like top priority right now because of the latest Google.
All right, let me close this window because it looks like it's trying to eat up my bandwidth. All right, this is another place that I saw that Hernan actually sent me the list for this one a while back. Wow, you know what? Just look at the root domain on that, because I think it redirected to a sales page of some sort. No, that's it. That's right. Okay. I just posted it in chat, so you should show up here in just a minute. There it goes. That one right there is, I have not tested them, but they look decent. I don't know, but I think they build the PBNs for you and everything. So, if you're looking for a full-on solution where you don't have to do all the analysis and everything else, there you go. That's a good option. Again, I haven't tested it, though, so I don't know how good they are. Okay, let's see. Can you explain more about the 2 shared images? Sure, Scott. And let me see. Brian says, I personally have only bought 2 domains following all the rules, and I use Majestic, and the backlinks disappeared 2 months after owning them. Yeah, that happens from time to time, Brian. That really happens. What's important is if you're going to be doing that, like, there's a couple ways to do it. If you're going to build PBNs, you need to either recreate the pages that were on the old domain, at least a good portion of them. One way to do that, okay, is to do an index check on it, right? So let's walk through this real quick, guys. Let me let me go to Google real quick, and I'll show you, because it's important. If you don't build the PBN right, you're right. You're going to lose all your backlinks. All the backlinks that are pointing to that expired domain, you're going to lose them all. And you're going to lose most of them anyways over time, but in 2 months, that's a significant drop. It's probably because you did something wrong. I don't know for sure because I don't know the details. But what you want to do is go to Google and you want to do the site operator, and then you want to check for, and we'll just use Semantic Mastery as an example, but you want to check for the indexed pages, okay? You want to make sure, first of all, that it's indexed. Number one, oh, by the way, guys, if you want to know, if you check, there's a couple things to do. If you go to Google and you type info colon is just going to show you the actual root itself, right? So it's going to show one listing. And if you check that and it's not there and it says no results found, then it's a de-indexed domain, or it's a non-indexed domain. It might not necessarily, if it was expired, chances are it's been de-indexed, or if it's been expired for a period of time, it's fallen out of the index. Okay, that doesn't mean that it was a de-indexed domain. It just means it's no longer indexed. Okay. However, if it is indexed and you see it like this, Then you do the site colon operator like this, and you should see all the pages. However, I do want to tell you one other thing. If you do just a Google search on the domain name, you should see it in #1 position. If it's not in #1 position and it's down at like number 6 or it's on page 2, that means it's got a penalty levied against it. Okay, if you do a Google search on, bears repeating, if you do a Google search on the domain name itself and it's not in #1 position, it has a penalty levied against it. Okay, so keep that in mind. Now for like domain authority boosting, and that's a bit more advanced, I don't want to confuse anybody, but it doesn't matter if you got a penalty domain, a penalized domain. It doesn't even matter if it's de-indexed if you're doing it strictly for domain authority boosting, but that's for we don't have time to cover that now, nor do I think I would cover that. That's more for mastermind members. But for if you're going to be building PBNs and pointing links directly at your money sites, you need to make sure that they are not in penalty status, which means do a Google search on the domain and make sure it sits in #1 position. Okay. Next, check the site colon operator. This is going to show you the indexed pages on the site. Now, what you can do is you can go copy those URLs that you see. You don't have to copy all of them, but you want to copy a good portion of them, and then you want to jump over into Majestic or something like that and do a search on some of the page URLs, and try to find out which. In fact, you can even just do a search on Majestic for the domain itself, right? And then take a look at the pages that Majestic is showing backlinks pointed to, and then sort by number of backlinks and or trust flow or whatever like that, and take the highest. The pages with the best inbound link profile that have the highest metrics, right? And then recreate those pages on the new domain, the domain that you purchased, the expired domain. So you're going to put it on a new hosting account, but you can recreate those pages. This is a bit of a manual process, but the way that you do that, and I'm sure a lot of you guys know this, but you go to archive.org, and it's called the Wayback Machine, and now you paste the domain in here, click Browse History, and then you'll see where it's been indexed in the past, and you can go back and look at the old site and then take the pages that had the best metrics and recreate those on the site. That's one way to do it, okay? However, if you're going to be retheming the site with the different content and everything else, which most people do, see, this is what our old site used to look like. So, but if you're retheming the site with new content and stuff, it really wouldn't make sense, right? Well, not necessarily, because essentially you could put a silo on an old site and keep all the old content in a particular silo, and you do a couple 301 redirects, which we talked about a little bit before, using like simple 301 redirects plugin, and you could redirect the old URLs to the new URLs because of the silo structure, right? It's going to change slightly, but that way you keep the old content on the old domain, but now you have the new content in the new silos, right? That's one way to do it. Another way to do it is if you're just turning and burning, which is how I do it, because I don't go through all the trouble of building these PBNs out like this. It would be way too time consuming. Instead, what we do is we purchase the expired domains with decent metrics. We stick a plugin on it, like Link Juice Keeper is one of them. Another one is 404 to start. Another one is 404 redirection. There's another one by Ninja plugins called Easy 404 Redirects or something like that. It's actually one of the newer plugins that does that. And it will redirect all of the non-existent URLs back to the home page. And all the reason I'm talking about all of these guys is because that's how you keep your backlink profile for the most part. Okay, you got to make sure that those links are pointing to your site, or that there's an actual path there. Because if web crawlers on the sites that have those links pointing at your site, if web crawlers like are find broken links, then they're going to go repair those. But so what that means is if they've got 404 errors, web crawlers or whatever that are looking at their site, if they're monitoring their site and they see that there's broken links on their pages, that lowers the quality of their site. So what people will do is they will go find those broken links and they'll remove them. But as long as you have those links pointing to somewhere, even if it's through a 404 redirect back to the home page of your site, the web crawlers aren't going to know any different. So they're never going to know that it's a bad link, or it's not that it's a bad link, but it's pointing to new content, right? They're not going to know. So you got to make sure that you keep all of those inbound links or pages going somewhere still. And so there's the hard way that you can do it, which I just talked about, or there's the easy way that you can do it, which is just using like a 404 redirect plugin. Just keep in mind that you're still going to lose backlinks over time, And you won't keep, remember, if you've got pages on an old domain that had a high authority, it's not all just about the home page, right? You could have inner pages on the old domain that have a lot of trust flow and have a lot of authority. You have page authority. You can have page rank if you still follow that metric. So if you recreate those pages, now you're getting more opportunities from the site to link out with more, with pages that have high page authority. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. So, anyways, I'm going to move on. Okay. Scott says, "Can I explain more about the two shared images?" Sure, Scott. We talked about this the other day, and this is actually pretty good follow-up to the PBN discussion that we just had, because the reason I posted these was because of the question that somebody asked in the Facebook group about me explaining our PBN strategy with the IFTTT networks. Like, how do we still point PBNs directly at our money sites? And so I had started to describe what we do. And Ken Roberts actually dug these photos up from online and sent them to me, and they were good photos, because this explains exactly what I was trying to say last week. So I posted them here. But basically, what I talk about doing, guys, is if you have PBNs that are highly themed, right? So they're very, very tightly themed around the niche that you're linking to, your money site. So that means they're highly relevant, okay? And they have good metrics. Then you can link from your PBNs directly to your money site. That's fine, as long as you know what you're doing. You've got you've covered your footprint, and you've got highly themed, good metrics on your PBN. Then it's fine to link directly to your money site. However, if you don't, then I would suggest that you only link to Tier 1 properties. Okay, and that's what these photos here are showing. Is, for example, he's showing PBN sites pointing to his Tier 1 site, which would be this circle B here. So in our case, that could be our IFTTT sites, right? Especially our branded network, okay? Because we're going to have a branded network around our money site, right? So we could point. So let's say we have a lower quality PBN, or we've got an older PBN site that we've had that wasn't themed so well. Because remember last year, guys, and 2 years ago, that you'd buy an expired domain, and you'd link all different kinds of content from it, meaning it would just be a general blog, and you could do a post about plumbing, and then you could do a post about car insurance, and then you could do a post about red shoes. It didn't matter, right? Because all we were doing was pushing juice. But now it does make a difference, because now if you're that can actually harm your money site if you're pointing a link from a generalized blog like that. Okay, what you want to do now is the private blog network site needs to be highly relevant to the site that it's linking to. Okay, and if it's not, and you have some of these older sites, then you link it to your Tier 1 property instead of directly to the money site. Okay, so that you're not affecting the trust flow of your money site. All right, so that's one way to do it. So if you've got PBNs without the greatest metrics, then that's what I would do. I could repurpose those as Tier 2 links instead of Tier 1 links, right? That's one way to do it. All right, and that's basically what this is showing. The other thing it's talking about here is that now and somebody asked about this last week as well, the Skyfall update, which talks about how Google is looking back all the way out to Tier 3 for links now. So what's important is that you don't want to be linking with exact match anchor text from Tier 1 to your money site. What's really important is branded links and naked URLs, provided that you don't have an exact match anchor. an exact match domain. Because an exact match domain, that's going to count as an exact match anchor when it points to your site. So if you have an exact match domain, it's okay, just be careful. Okay? Just be careful with that. Don't use that sparingly. Instead, use brand terms. All right? And then what you do is out at Tier 2, which is pointing to Tier 1, that's when you can start doing a little bit more anchor text, but I still wouldn't do exact match. I'd go more broad and more generic terms. Remember, at Tier 2, you're not going to be really using any brand at all. You could use URL anchors, because it wouldn't make sense to have brand anchors pointing to Tier 1 properties now, would it? Now, it would for your branded Tier 1 network. I hope that's not confusing. But for pointing links to your Facebook page, for example, it would make sense to link to that with a brand, a brand anchor. But what I would suggest here is at this level, at a Tier 3, you would do naked URLs and more general terms, some broader keywords, not exact match keywords, but broader keywords. Because like we talked about last week, if you do your on-page right, you don't need very many at all exact match anchors pointing to your money site. for you, or for pointing to the page to make it rank. The on page is going to rank it for the keyword. You just need some juice to help it rank. All right, so that's what you got to consider when you're link building now, is get your on page right and then push juice, but do it properly. And you want to, and again, guys, we want to, look at trust flow metrics. In my opinion, that is the most important metric right now, trust flow. And so you want to make sure that if there's ways to modify or manipulate trust flow as well, which that's saved for on our next members only webinar. We're talking about that. So, all right, was there any other questions? Let's see.
Yes, Sandra had a question.
Yeah, and I'm supposed to not be looking at all that stuff. You got it.
Jeff,
All right.
Jeff also has a question, and I think his was first. It's about using Animoto videos, and if they still, or if they
Who asked
rank
about
very
that?
well. Jeff.
Jeff, no, don't use Animoto for videos. Don't, because first of all, they look like crap, and number two, they're done to death. The Animoto makes me sick. Like, honestly, I wouldn't do it, and I just because they've been done to death by IM guys, and so you're better off, hiring it out on Odesk if you don't want to do it yourself. I mean, or if you want to do it yourself, then get like Explain.io or something like that, Video Maker FX or something that at least is going to look a little bit better, that you can customize a little more. And darn it, again, guys, I don't suggest you do them yourself, because you guys can find people on Odesk that can do videos for you for very cheap. I got a guy that'll do videos for like $10 per minute. So if it's a 2-minute video, it's $20, and like I think that's dirt cheap, because how long would it take you to do a 2-minute video? You know what I mean? So I mean, personally, I suggest you find somebody on Odesk to do it, or just get good with one of the video maker tools. I would not suggest using Animoto. Will they rank? Probably, but make sure you're using custom, audio tracks. All right. Okay, Marco.
And then Sandra wanted to know, it's a follow-up to the Google Plus, and you answered that when you create the YouTube account, the Google Plus page is immediately created. It's by default now.
That's correct.
Let me see. I think we had another one. The difference between live events and Hangouts.
Okay, live events stream in HD quality. They can stream all the way up to 1080p or 1080i. I don't know what the difference is between those, to be honest with you. But Hangouts on Air will not do that. Live events also have full HD or high fidelity audio capability, where Hangouts on Air do not. As far as, and I've actually seen, they're both the livestream.str file type, which I shared that a couple weeks ago. You guys are aware, I shared that in one of the Hump Day Hangouts within the last 2 weeks, if you want to go back and watch those. Again, guys, we're going to be putting timestamps on all of these replays in the description area, so that if you're watching it, it'll have the question that was asked and our answer, and it'll be a timestamp. Literally, you click on the time, and it will take you right to that spot in the video. We're going to be doing that for all our videos going forward, so it'll make it easier for you guys to find answers to questions. But yeah, with live events, you get HD quality, high fidelity audio, and they're the same file type, which is livestream.str. But and in my opinion, and from my testing, live events actually rank a little bit better than Hangouts on Air, and Hangouts on Air rank a little bit better than just an uploaded YouTube video, and it has to do with that file type, livestream.str. Okay, but I found that live event videos, they actually rank a little bit better. So I hope that was the question that you were asking. What's the difference between them? The difference is with Hangouts on Air, you initiate that through Hangouts. With live events, you initiate it through YouTube. Okay. And if you want to do a YouTube live event, like here, as a matter of fact, I'll go back to this persona here, because I know he's this profile has been authorized or whatever, set up to do live events. So through YouTube, go to your Creator Studio, and then you go to live events. Oh, and it looks like I haven't enabled it. I thought I could have sworn I did. Maybe I didn't. Not for this persona. But in order to enable live streaming, you have to phone verify the account, and this one was not phone verified yet. All right. So, but that's it. Once you phone verify the account, you'll be able to initiate live events. And in fact, I'll show this to you real quick, and then I'm going to jump into the teaser that I wanted to tease you guys with. And then if there's any other questions, I'll answer them, and then we're going to wrap it up because we're already at 4:37. So like we're a few minutes beyond what we normally do. But let me go into Creator Studio and I'll show this to you. If you go to Video Manager, Live Events, and then right here, New Live Event, you click that. Right here, this is why I like live events better too. Not for number one, HD quality. Number two, HD audio. Number three, you can optimize it just like a normal YouTube video. Beforehand, with Google Hangouts on Air, you cannot. The only thing that you can do on a Google Hangout on Air is give it a title. And then once you've streamed it live and you close, you end the broadcast, it will upload itself to your YouTube channel, and then you can go in and edit it and give it the tags and the description and everything else. But that's why I think live events rank better, because you can optimize them up front before they even stream. Does that make sense? And then obviously make sure you do tags, description. You want to make it public, and check to also share on Google Plus. Give it another description in here, because this is the message that it will share on your Plus page or your Plus profile, depending on how which channel you're coming in on. Also use hashtags, guys. Use hashtags. Get your keywords in as hashtags. Don't stuff it. Don't do 15 hashtags. Do 3. Find the 3 best top keywords and put them in here, okay, as hashtags. Then go to advanced settings. If you're doing local, guys, make sure that you put your address here. Click search. Once it zooms in on where your address is, pick up the pin, just move it very, very slightly and drop it, and it will change it to latitude and longitude. Click the recording date today. Every option that you get to select something, select it. Like I've got the channel default set on this, so I don't have to do so much of it. But you want everything where it says like captions, you want to select a caption thing. Normally by default it's going to be on select one, but you want to select a caption setting. You want to make sure you click today. Guys, this is what I was talking about. You do everything that Google asks you to do, you'll get better treatment out of them. All right, so it just takes an extra couple seconds. All right, so make sure that you do that, and then you hit go live now. In fact, what's really cool about these is I can schedule this. You see how it says now? If I hit this, let's say that I wanted to schedule this for, let's say tomorrow afternoon. Let's say 5 p.m. That's fine with me. I can go ahead and optimize all of this, get everything set up, and click Create Event, because instead of Go Live Now, it's Create Event, right? Because I scheduled it for in the future instead of now. Once I create this event, now I've got an embed code, and I've got the YouTube URL to the watch page that I can now syndicate across networks. And so, for example, if you've got your YouTube channel already tied to IFTTT networks and you create a live event for in the future, then it's going to syndicate the embed code regardless whether it's been streamed yet or not. So now, if you, especially let's say you've got 5 networks attached, and that's going to be 15 times 5, that's 75 properties. And if you got your live stream sites, which is going to be an additional 7 properties, that's an additional 35, right? So now you're talking about what, 108 properties roughly, 110 properties that your embed code and or YouTube link will be pushed out across. So that when you do this live tomorrow at 5 o'clock and you stream your video at that point, it's going to already be available on 105 properties, 110 properties. Think about that. Why do you think it ranks so much better? Because that code is sitting out there just waiting for the video. As soon as you start to stream that video, I've seen live events rank on page 1 before they've even streamed. And then I've also, and it's a little gray thumbnail, but I've also seen where it's been like back on like page 3 for my keyword, because I syndicated it out before the stream, the actual event. But then when I've streamed the event, it jumped from page 3 to page 1 just like that when the broadcast started. And it's very, very cool, guys. Very powerful. All right. Okay, I've got to. Is there any other questions that need to be answered? Oh, there's Damon Green. Hey, Damon.
Yes, BJ just asked a question.
Shit, we're gonna. All right, guys. Let me get through a few more questions because I do want to do a little bit of a teaser for tomorrow.
Yeah, last one, and then we're pushing through.
Yeah. Okay, Marco, go ahead.
Okay. He said he had a client site that was redone during the Pigeon rollout last year.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the content is the same. The only exception is that the blogger content wasn't connected back to the site. The 7-pack dropped. And he wants to know if reconnecting Blogger will help get it back.
Okay, tell me the first part of that again.
The site dropped from Map 7-pack.
Okay.
Now it still shows on some terms, but he wants to know if reconnecting Blogger will help get back the 7-pack.
Okay. Well, yeah, it'll help because it's connecting a Google property to it, right? So all Google properties that you can tie together. So Google Plus, YouTube, the Google Plus page, Blogger, also Google Sites, guys. Sites.google.com. You can create sites on that. Create a branded site for that, and then tie all your properties together on that as well. So tie all your Google properties together as much as you can. That will help a little bit, but I got to be honest with you, since Pigeon, all maps are extremely volatile. I mean, they shift all the time, and I know I've mentioned this before that you know, you could have something in position A today, and tomorrow you wake up and it's not even in the 7-pack, and the next day you wake up and it's in position D, and the next, you know what I mean? It's so volatile right now. It shifts all the time. It's much more like the organic algorithm. It's not the same yet, but it's a lot more like it. So. Something else you can do is if it dropped and everything is the same still, what you might want to do is change the content up on the site, right? If everything is the same and it dropped, then maybe you need to change the content up. What I mean by that is just go in and refresh the content. Have new articles rewritten for the pages. If it's for, you know, it's for a local site, I understand that, but maybe you can add additional content to the bottom of the page, like update it. Say, you know, we also offer this now, or da da da. Find some reviews. Start putting reviews on the pages if you can. There's a really cool service that I'm testing with one of my clients right now. It's called Nearby Now. I think it's .co. I just automatically .com'd it, but let me. I think it's .co. Just a second, because this is something that you can get the client to pay for. It's $99 a month, I think. Come on, Nearby Now. Let me see what I can find here, guys. Here, I'll just do a Google search on it. Duh. Let's try that. Nearby Now. Yeah, nearbynow.co. I don't know why it's not loading. But nearbynow.co, check that out, guys, because if you're doing local stuff, it costs like, I think, $99 a month. The client pays for it. But it's very, very easy. You get a WordPress plugin that you can integrate with the site, and then obviously you got to get them to, what they do is it's got like an app that they can download, you know, install on their phone, and from their technicians, if it's a local business site that provides like service stuff, and I don't know that that's what it is, BJ, that you're talking about, but everybody will benefit from this anyways. You can check in, your technicians can check in. That's weird. The site must be having trouble, but the technicians can check in from on location, and it will automatically update the pages on the site with content. It'll show the check-in date, and it'll show a heat map, which is like a map that will show where they checked in. And all of that, what's that do? It's updating the page with relevant geo-specific data, right? So it helps it to rank. And I'm testing it right now with one of my plumbing clients, and it's having a positive effect on his ranking. So you can try that as well. If there's no, you know, there's several things that you could do, BJ. We'll probably have to save more of that for next week. If you want, post that on the following event page that we're going to be sending out. And that way we can get to that early on in the Hangout instead of late in the Hangout, okay? I'll be happy to answer more of that next week, okay? Okay, so what I wanted to show you guys was this, let's see, tomorrow we're having a guest on we're doing the Advanced Strategy webinar for anybody that's purchased the IFTTT training, you know, the SEO Academy, for all of you guys that are doing that. So I just wanted to kind of tease this a little bit because it's important that you guys get there if you can. If you can't, the replay will be available, but I may take part of the webinar and chop it out and then send it out to you guys that are, you know, been following us anyways during the weeks, because it's something that I think is worth talking about. Now, you guys know I don't promote other products. I don't do it unless I've vetted them and they've proven to be a very good product and that I actually use them in my own business, right? Well, there's one that we're going to talk about tomorrow. Obviously it's another product, so if anybody's interested in it, they will have to purchase it. We're not giving it away, but I do want to show you guys some examples, and I'll put these on the event page. These links, you guys can check this out. But what's interesting is I've been testing something for a couple months now, and it has proven to be incredibly effective, and it works perfectly with what we teach for video SEO stuff. And let's put it this way, guys. One of the things I talk about when we talk about wanting to start your video SEO business, right? And finding one of the most important parts of it is the keyword research, is selecting the proper keywords. So, but even after we've done the research and we think we've chosen the right keywords, we don't really know whether they're going to rank easy or not until we've tested them, right? So that can be time consuming. It is time consuming because you got to create videos, and then obviously you want to create unique versions of the video. You can't have the same video posted for 15 keywords because YouTube won't allow it unless you have 15 channels, but then you don't have channel authority, right? It's more important to have channel authority. So you'd have to take the same video and do what they call, spinning of the video and spin the video to make unique versions of it. That takes time. Then you'd have to upload the video 15 times. And guys, I don't do uploads. I do live streams. I do everything through Wirecast or through other programs that will live stream the videos because they rank better that way, right? So that still all takes time. So instead of testing with videos, there's another method that we can test many different keywords using WordPress very, very quickly. And I've found incredible results with it because it can identify low-hanging fruit. That, if WordPress, if you can rank a brand new domain with a domain authority of 1 and a page authority of 1, and you can rank WordPress pages for certain keywords with no SEO work whatsoever other than on-page SEO, then hands down you're going to be able to rank videos for and monetize those videos. And in fact, you can even monetize the pages that you ranked that were just tester pages anyways. And so I want to show you guys this. I'm going to put these two links real quick on the event page so you can look at them, and then I'll zoom in on them just a little bit, and then we're going to wrap it up for the day. But I do want you guys to take a look at this because it's really, really cool. It's proven to be very effective, and when I elaborate on these results here in a minute, you guys, your jaws should hit the floor. All right, so I just put two links in there. All right, so we'll take a look at this. This is the first one here. This site right here. I'm going to zoom in, and this site I actually just I deployed the site on January 22nd for like the first 20-some pages that I created, and then on Sunday, which was February 1st, I did another set of pages, and now in fact I was creating outsourcer training videos while I was doing that on Sunday because now one of my VAs is building these out for me. It's something I've been putting off for 2 months. I just haven't had time. But anyways, you can see that these are the rankings that I've been able to achieve with that site that initially deployed pages on January 22nd and then did the second batch on February 1st. And there was 55 keywords in total, and these are what was able to achieve with absolutely zero off-page SEO. It was strictly on-page, and it was able to be done. And I spent maybe 2 hours setting up all of this, which was a lot more than what I needed to, but I was recording training videos at the same time for the second batch. So you can see that this is in less than, 2 weeks? In about 2 weeks' time, you can see that I know exactly which keywords are going to rank easy. And what I want to show you next, in this following one, is this is one that I did about 2 months ago. And let me see. This one was about 2 months ago that I did. And I haven't done any off-page SEO to this at all, guys. Again, I use this method to determine which keywords are going to rank easy for videos so that I can go out and just dominate with videos and make my job really easy. Like when you can upload a video and in 15 minutes it's on page 1, and you already know it because you know the keywords ranked with no off-page SEO, right, by using these tester sites. But take a look at this. This one I did about 2 months ago, and I haven't touched it since. And take a look at this, guys. Tell me that's not insane. There's 110 keywords that I'm tracking there, and look at that. So this is a golden niche. This is one of those golden. Every one of these lines here, guys, are the keyword plus a city, all in one state. Okay, and this was only a part of the state. This wasn't even the entire state, obviously, because it's only 110 areas, but it's about 6 counties or something like that, maybe 8 counties. There's 110 cities within those 6 or 8 counties, whatever it is, and look at the rankings we got for that. So I found one of these that are golden niche. This is something that and I've tested this. I did this to determine if this was a viable niche for me to do video SEO services in, and it proved to be. Well, not only can I rank, and so this was all in one state, but then I wanted to test because it ranks so easily. I said, okay, let me try this, and I went to Wikipedia and I looked at the top U.S. cities by population, and it gives you a list of 300. And I started with one of my students who we've partnered on a deal. We decided to start testing this in some of the top U.S. cities by population, and every single one of them that we've tested them in, we're ranked number one in, and number one and sometimes number two for video SEO for that particular term. There's videos ranked at number one and number two. And so it proved, by just checking it in one location, we proved that the keyword is easy to rank for, and now we're going to start dominating that niche with video SEO. Him and I, again, he's a student, but now we partnered in a joint venture deal. So tomorrow we're going to talk about this a lot more. We're going to reveal what it is, how it works. I'm going to show you guys the back end of it. For those of you that are IFTTT members, you guys, the reason I want to share this with you is because tomorrow's webinar is about monetization, how to monetize these networks. Yes, this is going to require an investment because it's another tool, but it's a tool that I have been using in my business that I highly recommend because it's going to make your job a lot easier. And when you land on a niche like this, that you know for sure that you can dominate with video SEO, what's that do to your confidence level? Huh? When you go out to go sell these services and you already know, screw selling the services, why not just start ranking the videos and then contacting people in that area that provide those services and say, hey, by the way, your website's on page 2, I've got a video in position number 1, number 2, number 3, how would you like to rent these from me? And rent them for cheap because it's easy to do. You know what I'm saying? Not only that, but take a look, guys, this site is ranked for all this, so can't I also monetize that page that's ranked? Can't I also put an ad on that page for that same company or to another company, so now I'm monetizing it twice, one for the video, one for the page, right? Since we know that WordPress is ranked at number 1, and now I got YouTube videos that I can rank at number 1, number 2, number 3, can't I also rank some Web 2s there, some bloggers, some WordPress.com, some Tumblrs? Can I do that also? Of course I can. So essentially, by using this plugin and determining how many pages, like these keywords that are just freaking gold, they're untouched, I can end up taking up 5, 6, 7, 8 spots on page 1 and monetizing all of them. So very, very cool. I hope you guys are excited. Tomorrow you'll get to see that. Those of you that are not members, if you want, join and come join us tomorrow. If not, after everybody else has had the chance to go through it, we may send this out to the list so that you guys can find out about it too, because I do highly recommend it, and I want you guys to be able to be successful with the strategies that we teach you. So, all right, if there's any questions, I'll give it 6 minutes, and then we're wrapping it up. Is there anything available, Marco?
Yeah, I see. Sandra just says, is the tool a keyword research tool?
No, it's not a keyword research tool. It's not a keyword research tool. In fact, it's still good to do keyword research up front to find stuff. Again, that's what I was saying was when you're trying to decide on what to do for video SEO, like what you're going to monetize, it's difficult to, no matter how much research you do, until you actually test the keywords, you don't know for sure whether it's going to rank easy or not. Okay, and so yeah, you can test with videos. There's no problem with that, and you can find video keywords that way through testing that are going to rank easy. But what I like about this tool is I can test many keywords very, very quickly over a broad area, and I can find those golden nuggets that have little, next to no competition, but are still valuable. Remember what the criteria is, guys. You're looking for stuff that are high-ticket items, right? Especially for local stuff. You're looking for those high-revenue products or services. In my case, mainly services, contractor-type services. And then you want to rank for those and then rent them out. Rent them out for a decent price. Like some of those guys, like I said, we went to Wikipedia and got the list of top U.S. cities by population, and we started testing in cities with a population of 100,000 and above, and we were able to nail it, hands down, every time, number 1 in minutes by ranking videos after looking at those test results. And so my point is that you can rent those out for actually cheap. Because remember, the hard part, and one of the things I got questioned about, and I really probably won't be able to answer any more questions because I do want to get this across too before we wrap up. One of the questions I get by a lot of people that are coming into our group is saying, well, I've taken other video SEO courses and people say to charge $500 a month. Listen, if you can charge $500 a month to rent a video, by all means do it. But let me tell you something. It's going to be hard to find people that are willing to pay that, number 1. Number 2, they're always going to question you whether or not that's worth it. And you're going to constantly be trying to convince them that it's worth it. I mean, I've done this, guys, a million times. So what I do is I charge a much more reasonable price, and then I just make it up in volume. All right, and that's why I go after the keywords. I try to find the keywords that are going to be a slam dunk for me to rank, that take next to no work other than running them through my syndication networks, so that I know for sure that I'm going to be able to rank them, and then I rent them for cheap, and I just do a lot of them. And that way, my job is a lot easier. Because if somebody's paying you $100 a month for a video, then it doesn't take near as they're not so quick to question whether it's worth it as they are if you're charging them $300 a month or $500 a month for the same video. You get my point? And when you run across keywords like what I just showed you, you can run them out for, I mean, if you wanted, if you started trying at 100 and you caught some resistance, you could back it down to 75 a month or 50 a month. Who cares? You know, go out and rank 100 videos in the next 2 months at $50 a month per video. What did you just do? You just created a $5,000 a month business, 60 grand a year. Could you guys do with another 60 grand a year? Of course you could. You know, so you know, do it how you like. But I personally like to find the more affordable. Make it easier on my clients to pay for it, and then just do more of them, and find those really easy niches to rank for. All right, because you can do it. Last thing I do want to talk about was I had a question from one of our longtime followers, Alex, last week, because I do pitch video SEO a lot, and he asked about the mastermind and about whether or not we teach other stuff inside the mastermind, because he said that he had a meeting with some clients, potential clients, that we're going to ask, you know, have him do website SEO. Of course we do, guys. Inside the mastermind, we talk about, it's advanced SEO, period. We talk about black hat, we talk about white hat, we talk about everything in between. We let you guys make the decision as to what you want to do. We teach silo structure. I mean, anything about SEO that you can think of, we teach it inside the mastermind. I talk publicly more about video SEO than I do because, number one, I want you guys to have the quickest level, the quickest success. Website SEO, yes, you can make more money. Here, let's put it this way. With video SEO, guys, it's an easy foot in the door strategy. So I was just talking about doing videos for $100 a month or even 50 if needed, right? But that's a foot in the door, right? If you were to contact a company and say, look, I got this video ranked #1 for your service in your city, and I'll rent this to you for $100 a month or $75 a month or $50 a month. Once they start renting from you, now you've got a line of communication with them, so you can upsell them on local SEO services for ranking and maps, right? Doing social media, network building, syndication, content management, content marketing. You could do organic SEO, right? You can upsell them on the higher ticket items and higher ticket services. So, I mean, if you're looking to get into the business, that's why I constantly recommend video SEO, because it's the quickest way to monetization. If you want to get into doing website SEO, sure, you can do that. But remember, organic SEO is getting more difficult. It's not that it can't be done, it certainly can, but it's becoming more difficult. So it's more complex, it takes longer to rank, brand new stuff. Local SEO is not hard, like ranking in maps. There's just, like what BJ said, there's with the pigeon update, there's a lot of volatility there, so it can be frustrating, but it's really not that difficult to do. So guys, keep in mind that, you know, I'm not saying that you need to just do video SEO. By all means, you can do whatever you want. I just suggest that that's a good starting point, that you can then sell upsell to higher ticket items, higher services. Okay. All right. Well, it's 5 o'clock, so I'm going to cut it off. Hey guys,
good.
thanks for being here. We'll send the invitation out for next week within by Friday at the latest. Those of you that are IFTTT SEO Academy members, tomorrow, don't miss it. Be there if you can. 4 p.m. We're going to run from 4 to probably 6 because we have a guest, so it's probably going to take us 2 hours. We're going to talk about monetization, and if we have the time, we're going to talk about additional YouTube SEO stuff. Okay, and then lastly, we'll probably end up having an advanced strategy webinar number 3. We'll talk about this tomorrow, but we'll probably end up having a third advanced strategy webinar, because I think there's some more stuff I want to share with you guys to make your IFTTT networks more profitable and easier to generate money. So we'll see you guys hopefully tomorrow. If not, the rest of you, we'll see you all next week for Hump Day Hangouts. Thanks, Adam, Marco, and Hernan for being here.
All right,
Thanks,
take care.
guys.
Have a good one.
Thanks.